The Grand Hall of the Galactic Union buzzed with the voices of 100 different species. Humans had been part of this community for almost 30 years now. They were known across the stars as poets, artists, and philosophers. Most aliens thought Earth was just another peaceful world with little military power. William Hayes adjusted his formal diplomatic robes as he prepared to address the assembly. As Earth's lead ambassador, he had spent years carefully building humanity's reputation as a cultured, sophisticated species. His gray hair and kind eyes made other species feel at ease. That was exactly what Earth's Secret Defense Council wanted. Ambassador Hayes, the HFY representatives have requested another meeting about mining rights near Jupiter, said his assistant Sam Kelly, a young man with a talent for languages. William nodded. Tell them I'll meet them tomorrow. Their interest in our outer planets is growing concerning. What the HFY didn't know was that William had been a fleet commander before becoming a diplomat. Like many of Earth's representatives, he had been chosen not just for his diplomatic skills, but for his military experience. Earth had been playing a careful game for decades. Back on Earth, in a facility buried deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, Admiral Elaine Foster studied the latest intelligence reports. Unlike the diplomats with their flowing robes and practiced smiles, she wore a simple uniform with minimal decorations. Her sharp eyes missed nothing as she reviewed the movements of HFY ships near Europa, one of Jupiter's moons where humans had built their first major off-world colony. They're positioning for something, she told the gathered officers. Their fleet movements don't match their diplomatic claims. For 30 years, Earth had shown the galaxy only what it wanted them to see. The aliens believed humans had basic defense capabilities at best. They had no idea that deep in the asteroid belt, inside hollowed-out rocks, Earth had been building warships unlike anything they had shared with the galactic community. The emergency alert came at 300 Earth Standard Time. The HFY had launched a surprise attack on Europa colony. The first images showed destruction on a massive scale. The colony's outer domes had been breached. Thousands of civilians were dead or missing. Within an hour, the Unified Defense Council gathered in the crisis room. President Lisa Miller looked at the grim faces around her. They believe this will be easy, Admiral Foster said, her voice tight with controlled anger. They think we'll beg for mercy or offer resources in exchange for peace. General Howard Klein, head of Earth's Space Force, nodded in agreement. The HFY have fallen for our act completely. Their attack pattern shows they expect minimal resistance. President Miller studied the holographic display showing the enemy fleet's movement toward Mars, their likely next target. For decades, presidents before her had maintained the policy of hiding Earth's true capabilities. The military had quietly developed technologies far beyond what they shared with the galactic community. Earth's representatives had carefully cultivated the image of humans as poets and artists rather than warriors. Admiral Foster, President Miller said finally, "You've been asking for authorization to deploy our real defenses for years. Today, you have it. Activate the Sentinel Network." For the first time in nearly 30 years, Admiral Foster smiled. "With pleasure, Madam President." Across the solar system, hidden platforms powered up. Ships emerged from secret bases. Soldiers who had trained in complete secrecy prepared for battle. In the Galactic Union headquarters, William Hayes received news of the attack during a cultural exchange event. He calmly excused himself from a conversation with a HFY diplomat. Once alone, his gentle expression hardened as he contacted Earth. "They've made their choice," he reported. "How should I proceed?" President Miller's response was clear. "Maintain the facade a little longer. Let them think we're scrambling in panic. When the time comes, you'll deliver our message." What the HFY would soon learn was that humanity's cultured exterior had always been genuine, but incomplete. They were about to discover what humans were capable of when threatened. The mask of peaceful diplomacy was about to slip. Earth's real face was about to be revealed. The HFY warships moved toward Mars with confidence. War Commander Kist stood on the bridge of his flagship, his scaled skin reflecting the dim blue light of the command center. He had 4 arms, each busy with different controls as he directed the attack formation. The destruction of the Europa colony had been easy. Too easy. Our scouts report minimal defenses around the Mars settlements, his second-in-command reported. The humans appeared to be evacuating civilians rather than mounting resistance. Kist made a clicking sound that passed for laughter among his kind. As expected, their diplomatic records showed no significant military spending for decades. They built museums while we built warships. The Zixtheri fleet pushed forward, their sensors scanning for Earth vessels. They found nothing but civilian transports fleeing from Mars. The red planet grew larger on their view screens. "Prepare bombardment sequence," Kist ordered. "We will give them a demonstration of real power." But as the fleet entered the orbital space around Mars, their sensors suddenly detected movement from what had appeared to be debris floating in space. Colonel Nathan Garcia watched from his command chair as the stealth platforms came online. For 15 years, he had commanded this hidden defense network, conducting training exercises in total secrecy. His crew had never been allowed to speak of their work, even to their families. Now, they would finally show what they could do. "All platforms, weapons free," he ordered calmly. "Execute Operation Blindside." Across the Martian orbital space, what had appeared to be abandoned satellites and space junk suddenly came to life. Weapons far more advanced than anything Earth had ever demonstrated publicly locked onto the Zixtheri ships. The first volley caught the alien fleet completely by surprise. Their shields had been set for minimal defense, expecting nothing more than outdated weapons. Instead, focused energy beams cut through 3 of their support vessels immediately. Explosive drones attached themselves to the hulls of 2 more warships before detonating. On Earth, Director Patricia Morgan sat in the Underground Intelligence Operations Center, watching the battle unfold through secure feeds. Around her, analysts coordinated with deep-cover human agents placed throughout the galaxy. Many of these agents had lived for years as cultural attaches, artists, or traders. No one suspected they were part of Earth's vast intelligence network. "Send the signal," she instructed her communications officer. "All agents, protocol Shattered Glass is now active." Across dozens of worlds, humans who had been living as peaceful representatives began sabotage operations against Zixtheri interests. Supply depots exploded. Communication relays failed. Military intelligence was stolen or corrupted. Back at Mars, War Commander Kist struggled to understand what was happening. "How is this possible?" he demanded as another of his ships reported critical damage. Their defense files showed nothing of this capability. His tactical officer, looking at new scan data, spoke with shock in his voice. "Commander, these weapons, they're not improvised defenses. These are advanced systems that would take decades to develop. The humans have been hiding their true technology from the galactic community." Kist hissed in anger. A deception. All these years, while they participated in cultural exchanges and peace forums, they were secretly arming themselves. Despite the unexpected resistance, the Zixtheri still had numbers on their side. They regrouped, adjusted their shields, and pushed forward. 3 human defense platforms were destroyed in the counterattack. Colonel Garcia knew they couldn't hold back the entire fleet, but that wasn't the plan. They just needed to slow the enemy down and demonstrate that humans weren't the easy target the Zixtheri expected. "Fall back to secondary positions," he ordered his forces. "Make them work for every kilometer." On Earth, Admiral Foster received the battle reports with grim satisfaction. "The first phase is complete," she told President Miller. "The enemy has discovered that we're not defenseless, but they still don't understand what they're truly facing." President Miller nodded. "Proceed to Phase 2. It's time for General Klein to deliver our message." Across the solar system, hidden shipyards powered up. Vessels that had never been registered with the Galactic Union prepared for launch. Earth's pretense of being merely a cultural power was beginning to crumble. The real revelation was still to come. The Zixtheri fleet regrouped at the edge of the Mars orbital zone. 5 of their ships were now floating debris. 7 more had suffered heavy damage. War Commander Kist was not used to losing battles. His species had conquered 12 worlds before encountering humans. None had put up meaningful resistance. "Prepare all remaining ships for a direct push to Earth," he ordered. "The humans may have some hidden defenses, but they cannot possibly have the resources to stop our full fleet." On the moon base, hidden beneath what aliens believed was only a research facility, General Howard Klein prepared to address the enemy. For 30 years, he had helped build Earth's true military, while the diplomats kept up appearances. He adjusted his uniform and stood before the communication array. "Are we broadcasting on all frequencies?" he asked the communications officer. "Yes, sir. Every ship in the system will receive this message." General Klein looked directly into the camera. His face showed no fear, only calm determination. "This is General Howard Klein of Earth's Unified Defense Force. To the Sixth fleet approaching our world. This is Earth's final warning. Stop attacking, or we stop pretending to be cultured." The message was simple. There were no pleas for mercy, no complicated diplomatic terms, just a warning. In the Zixtheri command ship, War Commander Kist watched the humans' message and made the clicking sound of laughter again. "They think they can threaten us after we destroy their colony. Their pride will make crushing them even more satisfying." What the war commander didn't know was that a small human ship had already attached itself to the hull of his command vessel. Lieutenant Stephanie Powell led a team of 5 Special Forces soldiers, each trained in zero-gravity combat and alien ship infiltration. They wore stealth suits that masked their heat signatures and life signs. "Team, we have 20 minutes to complete the mission," Stephanie whispered into her helmet comm. "Plant the evidence and get out. No engagement unless absolutely necessary." The human team cut through an outer maintenance hatch and slipped inside the massive alien ship. They moved through service tunnels, avoiding patrols. Years of studying stolen Zixtheri ship plans had prepared them for this mission. Stephanie reached the main computer core first. She attached a small device to the alien technology and activated it. The device began uploading false information about Earth's military capabilities. But mixed in with the obvious fake information was the truth. Data about Earth's actual fleet strength, weapons capabilities, and defense systems. The Zixtheri would find the information, but they would believe all of it was human disinformation. "Package delivered," she reported quietly, moving to extraction point. Meanwhile, Ambassador William Hayes stood before the Galactic Council. His usual diplomatic smile was gone. Representatives from dozens of species watched as the humans' demeanor changed. "For 30 years, Earth has participated peacefully in galactic affairs," he said. "We have shared our art, our music, our literature. We have joined trade agreements and cultural exchanges. And in return, we asked only to be left in peace." His voice grew colder. "The Zixtheri have chosen to attack our colony on Europa without provocation, killing thousands of civilians. They now move against Earth itself. We have issued our final warning." A representative from the Voshan Federation, a longtime ally of the Zixtheri, stood up. "What can Earth possibly do? Your military records show minimal defense capability. These threats are empty." William smiled for the first time, but it wasn't his diplomatic smile. It was something older, something predatory. "We humans have a saying: speak softly and carry a big stick. For 30 years we have spoken softly. The Zixtheri are about to meet the stick." On the edge of Earth's orbital space, sensors detected the approaching Zixtheri fleet. In response, hidden defense platforms began powering up. But this was only the beginning. Deep in the asteroid belt, massive doors opened in what appeared to be ordinary space rocks. Inside these hollowed-out asteroids were shipyards that had been operating in complete secrecy. The ships that emerged were unlike anything Earth had ever shown to the galactic community. The time for pretending was over. The Zixtheri fleet moved steadily toward Earth. War Commander Kest felt confident despite the earlier setbacks. His intelligence officers had found the data planted by Lieutenant Powell's team. They believed the humans were trying to frighten them with fake information about secret weapons and hidden fleets. A desperate trick, Keist told his officers. They have some defensive capabilities we did not expect, but nothing that can stand against our main battle group. The alien ships formed into attack positions as they approached Earth's orbit. Their scanners showed ordinary defense satellites and a small number of military vessels. Nothing they couldn't handle. Keist gave the order to begin the assault. Show these humans what real power looks like. The first wave of Sci-Fi fighters rushed forward, weapons charged. They expected Earth's defenses to crumble quickly. Instead, hundreds of previously hidden ships suddenly appeared all around them. The vessels emerged from concealed positions behind Earth's moon, from stealth orbits, and from the asteroid belt. Each ship was sleek and deadly, featuring technology far beyond what humans had ever displayed publicly. Captain Daniel Wright sat in the command chair of the UES Vindicator, Earth's flagship. For 15 years, he had trained in secret for this moment. The Vindicator was nearly twice the size of the largest ship Earth had ever acknowledged owning. All ships, weapons free, he ordered calmly. Execute combat pattern Sierra. The human fleet moved with practiced precision. Their formation split the Sci-Fi attack groups into smaller, more manageable clusters. The Vindicator led the charge, its advanced weapons slicing through alien shields with ease. On his command ship, War Commander Keist stared at the sensor readings in disbelief. How is this possible? Where did these ships come from? His tactical officer looked up from his station, all four eyes wide with shock. Commander, these vessels don't match any known human design. They're using drive systems and weapons technologies they've never shown before. This isn't a small hidden defense force. This is a full battle fleet. In the asteroid belt, more ships continued to emerge from hidden shipyards. For decades, Earth had been building these vessels in complete secrecy. While their diplomats spoke of peace and cultural exchange, their engineers and scientists had been developing weapons systems that could challenge any fleet in the galaxy. The Sci-Fi tried to regroup, but the human ships were faster and more maneuverable than expected. Captain Wright's voice remained steady as he directed the battle. Focus fire on their command vessels, he ordered. Don't let them coordinate. The UES Vindicator moved like a predator through the enemy formation. Its shields absorbed hits that would have destroyed the ships Earth publicly admitted to owning. Its weapons cut through Sci-Fi armor with precision. In the Unified Defense Command Center on Earth, Admiral Foster watched the battle unfold with grim satisfaction. "They're learning," she said to President Miller, who stood beside her. "Now they know what we really are." President Miller nodded slowly. 30 years of preparation. 3 decades of showing only what we wanted them to see. On the screens, they could see the Sci-Fi ships falling back, trying to form a defensive position. But it was too late. The human fleet had the advantage of surprise and superior positioning. Despite heavy losses, the Sci-Fi pushed forward. They still outnumbered the human fleet, and they refused to retreat. Several of their ships managed to break through the outer defense line and move closer to Earth. "They're still coming," Captain Wright reported. "They believe they can overwhelm us with numbers." Admiral Foster's expression hardened. "Then it's time for the next phase. Captain Wright, fall back to secondary positions. Chief Strategist Bennett, activate the orbital defense grid." Across Earth's orbit, what appeared to be ordinary communications satellites and space debris suddenly came online. The planet's true defensive capabilities were about to be revealed. The Sci-Fi had wanted to see Earth's real face. Now, they would. The Sci-Fi ships that broke through the human fleet moved quickly toward Earth. War Commander Keist felt a surge of hope. If they could establish a position in Earth's orbit, they could still win this battle. "We have breached their outer defenses," his tactical officer reported, preparing orbital bombardment systems. What looked like ordinary weather satellites and communication arrays suddenly lit up around Earth's orbit. Chief Strategist Laura Bennett stood in the Orbital Defense Control Center, her fingers moving across the holographic display with practiced ease. "All grid systems online," she reported. "Target locks confirmed on all enemy vessels." For 25 years, Laura had helped design Earth's orbital defense network. The system had been hidden in plain sight. Some weapons platforms were disguised as repair stations. Others were buried in old satellites that other species thought were simply outdated technology that humans kept using for nostalgic reasons. "Fire pattern Omega," she ordered. Across Earth's orbit, hundreds of weapon platforms activated at once. Beams of energy cut through space, striking the approaching Zix Theory ships from multiple angles. The aliens had no time to adjust their shields before the first wave hit them. 3 of their vessels exploded immediately. 4 more suffered critical damage to their engines and weapons systems. The surviving ships tried to return fire, but they couldn't lock onto the true source of the attacks. War Commander Kist slammed his control panel in rage. How are they doing this? Their defensive capabilities were supposed to be minimal. In space, several human vessels moved alongside the damaged Zix Theory ships. These were smaller craft, designed for close combat and boarding actions. Major Gregory Johnson led the Special Forces teams. He had trained for this kind of mission his entire career. "Teams Alpha through Delta, prepare for boarding action," he ordered through his comm system. "Remember your training. These aren't the first aliens we fought, just the first ones who know we're fighting." Gregory's reference was to classified operations that human special forces had conducted in secret over the past 2 decades. While Earth publicly presented itself as having minimal military experience, its soldiers had been quietly gaining combat experience against pirates and in border skirmishes that were never reported to the Galactic Union. The boarding teams cut through the hulls of the damaged Zix Theory ships. They moved through the alien corridors with practiced efficiency, using tactics developed from centuries of human warfare, but never revealed to the galactic community. The Zix Theory were unprepared for close combat with human soldiers. Their species relied heavily on technology and had little experience with direct fighting. The boarding teams secured 3 enemy vessels within 30 minutes. In the main battle, the Zix Theory fleet continued to take heavy losses. Their commanders began to realize they had made a terrible mistake. The humans weren't just defending themselves better than expected. They were fighting with strategies and technologies that showed years of preparation. On the command ship, War Commander Kist received reports from all fronts. None of them were good. "The humans are boarding our disabled vessels," an officer reported. "They're using combat techniques we've never seen before. Our crews are not able to repel them." Another officer spoke up. "Commander, we've analyzed their attack patterns. These aren't improvised defenses. The humans have clearly been planning for this scenario for years. Their entire peaceful appearance was a deception." Kist finally began to understand. The humans hadn't just hidden some weapons, they had hidden their true nature. While presenting themselves as primarily artists and diplomats, they had been preparing for war all along. "Begin withdrawal procedures," he ordered reluctantly. "We need to regroup and reassess." But it was too late for an easy retreat. The human fleet had encircled the remaining Zix Theory ships. Captain Wright's voice came through on all Zix Theory communication channels. "Your fleet is surrounded. Your options are surrender or destruction. You have 5 minutes to decide." In the Orbital Defense Center, Laura Bennett received a new alert on her screens. "Admiral Foster, we're detecting energy signatures consistent with Zix Theory reinforcements entering the outer system." The battle for Earth was far from over. But the aliens had learned an important lesson. Humans were not what they had pretended to be. The Zix Theory reinforcements pushed into the solar system, 40 ships strong. They had received the distress calls from War Commander Kest's fleet and rushed to join the battle. They believed they could still overwhelm Earth's unexpected defenses with greater numbers. In a research facility hidden beneath the Pacific Ocean, Dr. Olivia Sanders stood before a massive control system. For 20 years, she had led the team developing Earth's most advanced weapons technology. This facility did not exist in any public records. The scientists who worked here were officially listed as researchers in oceanography or marine biology. Project Prometheus is ready for deployment, she told Admiral Foster through a secure communication link. All systems are green. Admiral Foster's face showed on the screen. Are you certain it will work? We've never used it outside of testing. Dr. Sanders nodded with confidence. The system will perform exactly as designed. The Scifistories have no defense against this technology because we've never revealed we were even researching it. In orbit, the first wave of Scifistories reinforcements engaged with the human fleet. Their ships were fresh and at full strength. They began to push back some of the human vessels. War Commander Kest felt new hope as he watched the battle turn slightly in their favor. We can still win this. The humans may have hidden capabilities, but they cannot match our combined strength. Deep in the ocean facility, Dr. Sanders initiated the final sequence, Project Prometheus activating now. Across the solar system, specially designed satellites that had been positioned over many years suddenly activated. They created a network of energy fields that could be directed with precise control. This technology had been developed based on theories that humans had publicly dismissed as impossible decades ago. In space, the energy network became visible as glowing lines connecting the hidden satellites. The pattern spread across the battlefield, surrounding several Scifistories ships. What is that? Demanded a Scifistories captain as his sensors detected the strange energy field. No one had time to answer before the field intensified. Within the affected areas, the laws of physics seemed to change. The Scifistories ships found their energy weapons firing at reduced power. Their shields weakened. Their engines struggled to maintain position. Dr. Sanders watched the data flowing across her screens. The field is stable. Phase 1 complete. Project Prometheus wasn't designed to destroy ships directly. Instead, it created localized areas where energy weapons and shields functioned at reduced capacity. It was the ultimate equalizer, bringing the technologically advanced Scifistories down to a level where human ships could engage them on better terms. In another hidden facility on the moon, engineer Frank Martinez activated his own project. For years, he had been developing autonomous combat drones that could adapt to enemy tactics in real time. Unlike the basic drones Earth had shown publicly, these machines had advanced artificial intelligence systems. Drone swarm deployed, he reported. Target acquisition active. Hundreds of small craft launched from concealed bays on the dark side of the moon. Each was about the size of a small car, but packed with advanced technology. They moved in perfect coordination, approaching the Scifistories reinforcements. The alien ships fired on the drones, destroying several. But the surviving drones immediately adapted. They changed their flight patterns and approach angles. Each destroyed drone transmitted data to the others before it exploded, making the entire swarm smarter. War Commander Kist watched in growing horror as his reinforcements struggled against these new threats. These are not the humans we were told about, he said quietly. Everything we knew about them was wrong. On the diplomatic channel, Ambassador William Hayes spoke to the Scifistories for the first time since the battle began. His voice was calm, almost conversational. I spent 15 years representing Earth in peace talks, he said. In that time, I learned a great deal about your species. One thing I noticed was how much you respect strength, but mistake kindness for weakness. The ambassador paused, letting his words sink in. What you're seeing now is not all we can do. This is just what we prepared for your specific tactics. We've been studying you for decades, preparing for this possibility while hoping it would never come. As he spoke, more human ships emerged from hiding places throughout the solar system. Earth had revealed only a fraction of its true military power. The combined effect of Project Prometheus and the adaptive drone swarms was devastating for the Scifistories fleet. Their ships struggled to maintain formation as the physics-altering fields disrupted their systems. The drones targeted their weapons and sensor arrays with precision strikes. War Commander Kist knew he had to make a choice. His fleet was being systematically taken apart by technologies he hadn't known existed. The humans were not just defending themselves. They were executing a carefully planned strategy designed specifically to counter Zix's theory tactics. "Open a communication channel," he ordered his officers. "We need to negotiate a withdrawal." But the Zix theory were about to learn another truth about humans. When pushed to fight, they did not stop easily. Commander Allison Taylor sat in the control room of her stealth vessel, the UES Phantom. Her ship had been hiding in the shadow of the Zix theory command vessel for the past hour, completely undetected. Her crew was handpicked from Earth's best special operations soldiers. "All teams in position," her tactical officer reported. "Ready to execute on your command." Allison had fought in secret operations across the galaxy for 15 years. Like many human military leaders, her official record listed her only as a minor diplomatic security officer. The truth was far different. "Begin Operation Checkmate," she ordered. The Phantom's stealth systems deactivated as it moved into direct contact with the Zix theory command ship. Before the aliens could respond, specialized boarding teams cut through the hull at 6 different points. They moved through the ship with precision and speed that shocked the Zix theory defenders. Allison led the main team directly toward the command center. Her soldiers moved like shadows through the corridors, using non-lethal weapons when possible. Their orders were clear: capture War Commander Kest alive. On the command deck, Kest heard the alarms as the humans breached his ship's defenses. "How did they get aboard?" he demanded. His security chief had no answer. The humans moved too quickly, used tactics the Zix theory had never seen before. Within minutes, the sounds of fighting reached the command center itself. The doors burst open. Allison led her team into the room, weapons ready but not firing. Her eyes locked with the War Commander's. "War Commander Kest," she said calmly, "you are now a prisoner of Earth. Your fleet is defeated. Order your remaining ships to stand down, or we will destroy them." Kest looked at the human woman with new understanding. There was nothing soft or weak in her eyes. This was a predator, a warrior who had been hiding her true nature behind a mask of civility. "Who are you people?" he asked quietly. "You presented yourselves as artists and philosophers. You claim to have minimal military experience." Allison smiled slightly. "We are exactly what we appeared to be. We are artists and philosophers. We value peace and cooperation, but we are also warriors when we need to be." She stepped closer. "Throughout human history, warfare has pushed our innovation and technology forward. We hope to leave that behind when we join the galactic community. But we weren't naive. We prepared for the possibility that some species might mistake our preference for peace as weakness." Under guard, Kest was transported to Earth. The journey gave him time to see the true extent of human military installations hidden throughout the solar system. Bases concealed inside asteroids, shipyards built into the moons of Jupiter, defense platforms disguised as scientific outposts. In the Unified Defense Council chamber deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, Kest faced a group of human military leaders. Admiral Foster, General Klein, and representatives from each branch of Earth's armed forces sat across from him. "You've spent decades deceiving the galactic community," Kest accused them. Admiral Foster shook her head. "No, we never lied about who we are. We shared our art, our music, our literature honestly. That is genuinely who humans are." She leaned forward. "But it's not all we are. We simply chose not to reveal our full capabilities to a galaxy where some species might see that as an invitation to test us." General Klein added, "We studied your history, War Commander. Your species respects strength above all else. Had we shown our true military capability from the beginning, you would have seen us as a threat to eliminate early. By appearing less dangerous, we bought time to prepare." Kest finally understood the truth. The humans had been playing a very long game indeed. 1 week after the battle, the remaining Zix theory ships gathered at the edge of the solar system. Under the watchful eyes of the human fleet, they prepared to return to their territory. War Commander Kest stood on the bridge of a human vessel, watching his defeated forces. "Sign the agreement," Admiral Foster said, presenting him with the terms of surrender. "Your forces will withdraw from human space. There will be no further aggression against Earth or its colonies." Cust pressed his claw against the document, leaving his official mark. The non-aggression pact was simple and direct, like much of human military communication. The Zixtheri would stay away from human territory. In return, humans would not pursue them back to their worlds. "You could destroy us completely," Kest noted. "Your hidden fleets and weapons give you that power. Why offer peace instead?" Admiral Foster's expression remained firm but not cruel. "Because war was never our goal. Defense was. We built our military to protect ourselves, not to conquer others." News of the battle spread quickly through the galactic community. The images of Earth's hidden fleet and advanced weapons shocked species who had dismissed humans as minor players in galactic politics. Diplomatic channels buzzed with urgent messages as governments tried to reassess their understanding of humanity. In the Great Hall of the Galactic Council, Ambassador William Hayes addressed the assembled representatives. The room was fuller than ever before, with every species sending senior diplomats to hear what the humans had to say. "For 30 years, we have participated in this community," William began. "We have shared our music, our literature, our philosophy. That sharing was genuine. It reflected the best of who we are." He paused, looking around the room. "But it was not all of who we are. Humanity has a long history of both creation and destruction. We have built wonders and fought terrible wars. When we joined the galactic community, we hoped to emphasize our peaceful nature while keeping our defensive capabilities private." A representative from the Voshan Federation stood. "You deceived us all. How can any species trust humans now?" William nodded, acknowledging the concern. "We never lied about our culture or our values. We simply did not advertise our military capacity. Consider this. Had we arrived 30 years ago displaying our full military strength, how would you have reacted? Would you have welcomed us or seen us as a threat?" The room fell silent as species considered this question. "Moving forward, we will be more transparent about our capabilities," William continued. "But our preference remains the same. We wish to trade, to learn, to share knowledge and art with peaceful neighbors. We simply will no longer pretend to be less than we are when threatened." In the days that followed, delegations from dozens of worlds requested tours of Earth's formerly secret facilities. President Miller approved some visits while keeping the most advanced technologies private. It was a calculated opening of doors, a controlled revelation of human capabilities. A month after the battle, representatives from several previously hostile species visited Earth's War Memorial in Washington, D.C. They stood before the centuries-old monument, reading the inscriptions that honored fallen soldiers from humanity's past conflicts. The Zixtheri ambassador, newly appointed after the defeat, studied one inscription with particular interest. It was a quote that had long puzzled alien visitors, but now made perfect sense. "The most dangerous predator is the one that smiles while watching." A human guide noticed his interest. "That quote is from an ancient Earth general," she explained. "It means that appearing harmless while observing your enemies is a powerful strategy." The Zixtheri ambassador nodded slowly. "We understand now. Your people have been both exactly what you appeared to be and something more all along." That evening, at a cultural reception in the rebuilt Europa colony, human artists performed alongside alien musicians. The music and art were genuine expressions of human creativity. But now, everyone in the audience understood a truth that had been hidden for decades. These artists came from a species that had never forgotten how to fight. Earth had finally stopped pretending to be merely cultured. A galaxy would never see humans the same way again.